This is so important. So pay attention. But before I even tell you what it is, I'm going to demonstrate it so that there's absolutely no doubt in your mind how you could possibly transform your saxophone playing using this lesson. So let's see which one you think sounds better. This one? Or this one? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? The second one is completely different because I'm not biting, I'm using my voicing. I first heard somebody say voice, don't bite. I think it might have been Patrick Bartley, so I'm not going to take authorship for this snappy little soundbite. But it's one of the most important things that you need to learn if you want to develop that big, fat, round, singing, pro-sounding saxophone sound. So many people the world over are held back by biting too much on the reed when you play saxophone. So we're going to delve into that a little bit today. It's going to be more of a conversational type lesson today, but I am going to give you some solid things to practice by the end. But just before we delve into there, make sure you go and check out my free Saxophone Success Masterclass. You can use the link that you can see there or click the link in the description. It's a whole hour of teaching with me, which is completely free. Just help yourself, just fill in your email, and I hope you enjoy it. Right, let's crack on with today's lesson and let's start talking about voicing and what it is and what you can do about it. Right, first things first, what do I mean when I talk about voicing? In fact, what do all saxophone teachers mean when we're talking about voicing? It's quite simple. It's the way that you arrange your throat and everything inside your oral cavity. So your tongue, your soft palate, the shape of your mouth, the way that you open the various parts of your throat. It's basically everything from the neck up until you get to the equipment itself. That's what voicing is. But why is it important? Well, there's a lot of science behind this, and I'm not going to go into it here. It's all covered in my Total Tone Mastery course, by the way. But in a nutshell, the speed that the reed vibrates at, the vibrating frequency of the reed, is controlled by two factors. The posh word for this is the tracked reed bore system. But the two factors which you need to know about are the vibrating air inside the bore of the instrument and the standing wave, the vibrating air inside your vocal tract. That's why it's called the tracked reed bore system. So how you have your throat and mouth changes the resonant frequency in this area, which affects the way that the reed vibrates. It's as simple as that. Now, another thing which can affect how you sound is how loose your embouchure is, because if you're biting on the reed, you're closing the tip opening, and if you also got your lip curled over your teeth, you're covering up more reed inside your mouth. Therefore, the reed is more dampened, it can't vibrate as much. It's like, you know, trying to play xylophone with a blanket on it. It just won't vibrate. So all these factors, which I cover in exhaustive detail in my Total Tone Mastery course, all these factors contribute to why you might be having a sound that's more like this, as opposed to this. So, what's the difference between them? Well, number one, the second version that you heard, much louder, many more overtones, which makes the sound richer. And the other thing that you probably would have immediately noted is that it's much flatter. The secret here is to tune, when you start blowing like this, to tune sharper and blow flatter. So the two big take-homes from today's lesson are, number one, in general terms, voice, don't bite. If you bite down on that reed with pressure, you're going to get a thin, small sound. And also, tune sharp, blow flat. That means you won't be using, you won't be squeezing up on that reed and squeezing the life out of your sound. Now, here's a super important point. When we're talking about voicing and the pedagogy of saxophone and teaching you how to voice to get a really great sound, different teachers have different approaches. And they're all different views of the same thing. They're all trying to get you to that point where you can just open up that sound and really embrace that fat, warm, singing, full sound. However, there's different ways to get there. Some people would talk about vowels, e, a, or these kind of things which change the position of your tongue and throat. Some people might talk about airspeed, do a certain thing with your tongue to make the air go faster, or blow down, blow up, slow the airspeed down. You'll hear all these things discussed. You might also hear about the temperature of the air, blow with a warm airstream or a cold airstream. There's all sorts of different ways of going about it. And you'll also hear more technical descriptions like arch your tongue, point the tip, close your glottis, hiss, do this, raise your soft palate, all these kind of things. And over the years, I personally have used all of them because some people responded differently to different things. The elephant in the room is that all the physics and you can't increase the airspeed. There's all these reasons. There's all these I could do a bit of myth busting, but it doesn't really matter at this point. If the instruction gets you the result, it works. That's all there is to it. So whether it's blow with a warm airstream like you're yawning, or if you want to make an ooh or aw sound, whatever gets you there is the one which is the best for you. All right, so don't worry about seeing all different opinions on YouTube. Find the one that works for you, but we're all trying to get to the same point. And what is that point? It's to open up your sound and not clamp down on the reed. So let's look at a few pointers and I'll talk you through what I think about when I blow saxophone. So when I think about making a great big fat warm singing sound on saxophone, this is the kind of thing that I'm really thinking about. So I'm trying to really open up this area of my neck here. I'm trying to, think about, when you say yawning, it can have negative consequences for other aspects of your physiology, but think about really opening up your throat and letting that air really rush through. Don't have a constrained throat like this because it'll constrain your sound. So think about opening up, thinking about like that kind of yawning, opening throat sound. And what I try and think about is making as big a space inside my mouth as I can. Like I'm really opening it up inside my mouth. And you can literally hear, it's like a filter, like an EQ. You can literally hear those high frequencies open up, like wah. You can hear the whole sound open up as I vary what I do. Now, at the same time, I'm really concentrating on dropping my jaw and really letting that reed vibrate to its absolute maximum capacity. You want that reed to be kicking, right? Don't squeeze on the reed. Remember, voice, don't bite. And the important thing here is don't bite. If you bite on that reed, it's game over, my friend. You will not get a good saxophone sound. So I'm thinking about opening up this region. In fact, when I blow, you'll even see that, the muscles on my neck kind of open up like this. And if you watch some other really good players, you'll see this as well. There's so much going on in here. When you watch videos of like Mike Brecker or whatever, you'll see that their throat opens up and you'll see that, things are moving in here all the time with their jaw, with their larynx. There's a lot going on to try and eke out and maximize how good their sound is. Have a little look. Now, at the same time as concentrating on opening up my throat and neck and making a big space in my mouth, I'm concentrating on relaxing my bottom jaw, really letting it all hang loose and making that real circular embouchure shape. I've got a video called, Blow Like a Goldfish. So you're thinking about this circular shape. There's no pressure on the reed, and you're just letting that reed really kick and vibrate to its absolute maximum capacity. you'll notice that I can even waggle the mouthpiece around inside my mouth. So no pressure, make it really loose, and get some air through that bad boy. Okay, really get some air through that bad boy. Keep your shoulders relaxed. I've got a whole video on breathing. You can go and check that out. But you're really getting a lot of air. You're really blowing hard and opening up your throat, opening up your mouth, dropping your jaw, making that circle and letting that reed just sing, you know, in a kind of more general sense. I'm just thinking, you know, oh, whoa. It's very hard to describe, but really kind of opening up all this area and whoa, just getting that block of sound moving through the mouthpiece with real velocity and letting that reed really kick and dropping it all and just trying to enrich, is that a word? Enrich that sound. Whoa, trying to get as many frequencies there as you possibly can. And you will find that you blow much flatter than you have been doing. Maybe even a semitone flatter if you've really been biting on the reed. So you're going to have to push your mouthpiece on to compensate. Now then, let's talk about a couple of exercises that you can do to start working on some of this stuff. The first thing you can do is just blow your mouthpiece, because if you're not getting any flexibility in your larynx, in your throat, you won't be able to bend the pitch of the mouthpiece down. So you're going to get your mouthpiece and you're just going to blow a note. Then what you want to try and do is you want to try and bring the pitch down by moving this part of your throat here, your larynx, down. Because it's like a kind of trombone slide. As your larynx moves up and down, it changes the length of this, which changes the pitch that the reed vibrates at. Remember I told you, reed, tract, bore. So the reed's in the middle, and what you do in your vocal tract affects it. Now, when you've got your mouthpiece on its own, there's virtually no bore. So it's all tract. That's why you should be able to get about an octave in your mouthpiece with a bit of practice. I'm not biting harder on the reed to bring the pitch up, by the way. I'm not biting on the reed to bring the pitch up. My embouchure stays pretty much the same. Now in the video you can see that there's things happening here, but not here. So that's a really great exercise for practicing your voicing, just blowing your mouthpiece. The second classic exercise for improving your voicing is to practice overtones. Now, I've done several videos on overtones, and you'll find loads of videos on YouTube on overtones. But effectively what we're going to do is let's play a low B flat, and you want to play the biggest, fattest, loudest, most free-blowing low B flat, like a real QE2 foghorn coming into Southampton Harbour. A big, fat, low B flat. Then just let the pitch naturally rise to the octave above, keeping the same fingering. All right, that's stage one. Here we go. And then what you can do is compare that pitch to the normal fingering. So you're then going to go to a normal bis key B flat. And when you play the normal bis key B flat, you want to try and copy that big fat sound from the overtone by doing all the things that we've talked about. Dropping your jaw, opening your throat, making a big space in your mouth, you know, the circular embouchure, the whoa, really making it a big shape. Now, the final exercise I'm going to get you to do today is to think about voicing in terms of intonation. So intonation is what notes are in tune. Now, you probably know that the notes of the saxophone are all out of tune. So your middle E will be really sharp, your low D will be really flat. So what we want to do is tune sharp and blow flat. Now, because the higher notes on saxophone are sharper, especially from, say, B upwards, second octave B upwards into the palm keys and stuff, if you're biting, those notes will have been very sharp before. But now we're voicing. So I want you to practice tuning octaves on your saxophone. And when you go up the octave, you want to hear the note clearly in your head, in your musical eye, and then voice it from here. Remember we did the mouthpiece bends? That's going to be how you change the pitch of the note to flatten it, not with lip pressure. You do not tune the saxophone with lip pressure. You tune the saxophone by voicing it in here. So I've got my tuner here. I'm going to try a few octaves. Now, the best way of doing it is play the low note, then hear the upper octave, play it, and then look back at your tuner and see how close you are. Okay, so I hit the upper octave C a little bit sharp the first time, and when I look down at the tuner, let's try it again. Okay, that was bang on that time. That was great. And you can do this with all different octaves on your instrument. So play the low note, you know, get that in tune, go up the octave and voice it and hear it in your head. Then look down at your tuner and see how you did. So that's all I've got for you today. Voice, don't bite. But this one thing could be the key that unlocks your saxophone sound. Now, remember, if you want to check out a whole hour of free teaching like this, go and check out my Saxophone Success Masterclass. The link is in the description. Just put in your email and you will get immediate access, which is pretty cool. Every week, there's a bonus video inside my Inner Circle membership, which is just a really, really cool community full of keen, enthusiastic saxophone players just like you. So jump in there. There's a free 7-day trial. You can have a poke around, decide if it's for you. There's so much awesome stuff in there. Go and check it out. I've got a video. You follow that link. There's a video. It'll tell you all about it. Finally, if you bought me a coffee, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Every milligram of caffeine is greatly appreciated. And if you got good value from this video and you want to say thanks, you can use the link there to buy me a cup of joe. Until next week's video, thanks so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, remember to subscribe, by the way. There's so many people watch who aren't subscribed, and it'll really help me if you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that. And if you want to be notified each time I release a video, go to the bell icon and select all. Spoiler alert. Every Sunday at 7 AM, I release a video, so you can set your alarm by it. Anyway, until next Sunday at 7 AM, when I'll release my next video, practice hard, practice smart, and above all else, enjoy your music. Take it easy. Little chipmunk with my kind of. Although chipmunks, you know, store things in their cheeks. This is more like a kind of neck thing. Oh, forget all that. This is so rambly. Doesn't matter.